Red carpet events can be hit or miss. Celebrities walk down, talk to news outlets, pose for pictures, and stop every 6 or so inches to answer the same questions 10, 20, a million times. At the Time 100 Most Influential People red carpet, there was a buzz in the air that made you think, hey, maybe things are going to be different. After all, it's rare that an event will draw high-ranking diplomats, groundbreaking scientists, and Kim Ye all in one room, back when they were a thing. Get a bunch of famous people together and we're gonna get something fun. Granted, it must be said that that evening in particular truly belonged to comedian Amy Schumer, who was being honored for her show Inside Amy Schumer. So Kim Kardashian and Kanye West were nearby while the funny woman was being interviewed on the red carpet. With flashbulbs going off, Kim in this beautiful lace gown with a massive skirt, and then Kanye next to her looking like he does. They were there, and then all of a sudden, Amy started walking towards them. Was she gonna say hi? No, she threw herself in front of them, pretending like she had stumbled, and then laid there, completely face down on the carpet for quite a period of time. So Kim and Kanye pretended not to notice, and then we got Laverne Cox being like, yes, Amy, yes! And I guess everybody laughed. So Kanye looked at Amy, still serious, but then after hearing the laughter, I guess Kim smiled, clearly not knowing what was going on, but recognizing that it was supposed to be funny. So after the couple at the time left the red carpet, a photographer was heard yelling from the pit, "Thank you for financing my healthcare and life insurance." And then Amy Schumer was like, "Oh, you're welcome, baby." So she later described her decision to dive in front of the couple on the Graham Norton show, saying, "I saw Kim and Kanye standing there, just owning it, being important. And I think falling is the funniest thing, so I took a dive in front of them." Okay, it's, sometimes you can let those impulsive thoughts stay in your head. In the span of a week back in 2012, Sacha Baron Cohen went from being banned from attending the Oscars, dressed as his latest character at the time, the Dictator, to getting a last-minute reprieve from the Academy, to dumping what he said was a dictator's ashes on Ryan Seacrest during the live red carpet coverage of the event. Emerging from a limo flanked by two women and dressed as General Aladdin, the fictional ruler of the Republic of whatever that he invented, he marched straight up to Ryan Seacrest and declared, "Death to the West!" before accidentally dumping an urn of ashes all over a very, shocked Ryan Seacrest. So what was the explanation behind all of this? Apparently it was actually Bisquick, by the way, and apparently this was like, oh, this dictator's dream to come to the Oscars and be sprinkled all over the red carpet, and something very explicit that I can't say. So after he completely slithered off back to where he belonged, Ryan Seacrest took it all in stride. He's like, I had an idea something was coming, but I didn't know what was coming, and now you know why this isn't taped. Anything can happen, and it most certainly did, all over my lapel. Turns out originally the plan to spell whatever it was in that urn was supposed to happen to George Clooney, but then somebody somewhere decided, hey, maybe that's a stupid idea, because at the time, George Clooney was up for a lot of awards. So then they spun the wheel of tragedy and it landed on Ryan Seacrest. And also just, why? Gary Busey repeatedly interrupted Ryan Seacrest, wow, here we go again, while he was interviewing Laura Linney and Jennifer Garner for E! But the encounter became truly uncomfortable when Ryan asked Gary, "Do you know Jennifer Garner?" And Gary responded by abruptly kissing her neck. Ugh. Jennifer was visibly taken aback, and rightfully so, and responded to Ryan's next question with a very valid one of her own. "Aren't you gonna ask me about getting kissed on the neck on the red carpet by this man?" Yeah, I'd be grossed out and running for the hills and maybe getting physical. Jennifer Lawrence took a heck of a tumble at the 2014 Oscars, but this wasn't on the telecast. The American Hustle star, clad in a red, beautiful Dior gown, apparently stumbled over a cone as she was exiting her limo when she arrived at the Dolby Theater red carpet. She's like, yeah, they put a cone right outside of my car, and I fell in the cone, and I have a goose egg, and it really hurts. That's what she told reporters. She's like, it's okay. I've got them all over myself. Girl, same, I got weird bruises everywhere. Although she didn't technically faceplant, she definitely got pretty close to the red carpet and needed security to help her get back on her feet. She was actually quite shocked about how quickly news of the trip up traveled, but when you consider social media, how many thousands of cameras are on the red carpet, and viral everything, it's When talking to Ryan Seacrest, because he's everywhere today, she's like, yeah, this wasn't a plan. I wasn't planning on making a sequel to my fall. She's like, I don't want it to start looking like it's my thing, so I've got to be careful. And then she later on told The Times that she was hoping she wouldn't have to deal with that ever again. Even Oscar host that year, Ellen DeGeneres, got in on the joke, starting her opening monologue by saying, if you win tonight, I think we should bring you the Oscar. And then she shared a photo of her on Facebook, being like, oh look, it's a rare photo of Jennifer Lawrence standing up. Yeah, we all know about your mean jokes now, Ellen. If you want to see a red carpet reporter work hard for her money, look no further than Kat Sadler trying to rein in a very philosophical Jim Carrey. So he was in attendance at the Harper Bazaar's Icons party and said, I wanted to find the most meaningless thing that I could come to and join, and then proceeded to explain how nothing was real, not even to him. And after Kat pointed out that like, yeah, I've never seen you at this before, he's like, yeah, there's no meaning to any of this. Boy, that is just the absolute lowest aiming possibility we could come up with. Do you believe in icons? Now when Kat tried to answer his statement, he interjected, I don't believe in personalities. I don't believe that you exist. But there is a wonderful fragrance in the air. Carrey even looked in the camera and gave this whole speech. I don't believe in icons. I don't believe in personalities. I believe that peace lies beyond personalities, beyond invention and disguise, beyond the red S that you wear on your chest that makes things bounce off. I believe it's deeper than that. I believe we're a field of energy dancing for itself, and I don't care. This wasn't exactly fresh poetry, by the way. The lines were borrowed from a commencement speech he gave in 2014 at a university. So sure, he kinda sounded like somebody on a bit of a bender, and it's not clear whether he sensed the irony in himself saying all of that while attending the party and wearing a flashy tailored suit. And when somebody did ask him about what he was wearing, he's like, oh, I didn't get dressed up. There is no me. There's just things happening. Okay, dude. Alrighty folks, fun fact about me, Zac Efron was my first celebrity crush. I had the posters on the wall, the High School Musical bedding, you name it. And then I heard about the embarrassing mishap at the Lorax premiere. Zac Efron was responsible for voicing Ted Wiggins. This boy, he's trying to impress a girl, whole thing, we find the Lorax. So at the time, I think he was like 24, and he was on the orange carpet at Universal Studios in Hollywood, because this was a movie targeted towards a young fan base, and he was greeting a fan, he was fumbling in his pockets, and then he dropped a condom. And the whole thing was captured on video, and because he was a Disney star at the time, it went viral. Look, it's not unbelievable he was carrying one. Like, that's, not out of the norm for an adult. But that's what wallets are for. Like, why did nobody give him the memo? In an interview on the Today Show after the incident, he joked, I never really had a pocket checking policy prior to going on the red carpet before, but now we have one, and that was that. Look, it happened, he left it off, and now he checks his pockets with his team before being photographed by paparazzi. Much about the 2001 Oscar ceremony played out as expected. Julia Roberts completed her award sweep for Erin Brockovich, taking home the statuette for Best Actress. When Marcia Gray Harden beat out frontrunner Kate Hudson for Best Supporting Actress, it was a moment of surprise. But the biggest shock that night, 20-something years ago, and the most memorable moment of the 73rd Academy Awards, happened outside the auditorium, on the red carpet, when Bjork appeared wearing a dress that resembled a swan. It was this crystal-encrusted body stocking surrounded by a puff of white tulle with a long neck that draped around her own, the orange beak resting on her chest. Her accessories? A trail of eggs that she laid as she walked down the red carpet. She's like, yeah, I was dropping them carefully on the red carpet. But other people's bodyguards kept picking them up and saying, excuse me ma'am, you dropped this. Yeah, it was a little out of the ordinary, but now it's a fashion moment we will never forget. Our first story for today started on August 6th of 2024 at the New York City premiere of It Ends With Us, when fans noticed that there wasn't a single photo of the entire cast together. So you got Blake Lively. She was photographed with her husband, Ryan Reynolds, who actually joined in on the press junket run for the movie, despite not being in the movie, fellow A-lister Hugh Jackman, also not in the movie, and co-stars Jenny Slate, Brandon Skynner. But what stood out the most was that Justin Baldoni only appeared on the red carpet solo, and side by side with his wife, Emily, and other friends and family, but never with Blake Lively or any of the co-stars from the movie. According to People magazine, Baldoni also allegedly didn't introduce the film ahead of the screening with Lively and Hoover, despite being the director and the star of the film. So Baldoni and his production company, Wayfarer Studios, acquired the rights to the book in 2019, and then Blake was cast in it back in 2023. But it's very weird for the director not to introduce the movie at the screening. When Don't Worry Darling premiered at the 2022 Venice International Film Festival, co-stars Harry Styles and Olivia Wilde, who were reportedly dating at the time, seemed to avoid each other on the red carpet. During every group photo, they always had somebody between them to pose. In one viral video, Harry seemingly declined a request from a team member who was like, "Hey, stay next to Olivia," and it was like, this whole red carpet went viral. At the 2023 Academy Awards, Vanessa Hudgens was interviewing celebs as ABC's red carpet correspondent, but her ex, Best Actor nominee Austin Butler, was interviewed by her co-host Ashley Graham. So later in the night, as Austin exited the Vanity Fair Oscars after party, Vanessa kept her eyes on her phone as she brushed past him. Vanessa seemingly responded to the full video by sharing a video of Malala telling Jimmy Kimmel, "I only talk about peace," captioning it, "Let's all be the I only talk about peace train." Okay? Through almost 3 decades of laughter, some of the best South Park episodes have upset some pretty powerful people. And while that's exactly what Matt Stone and Trey Parker engineered the show to do, it was their infamous outfits from the 72nd Academy Awards in the year 2000 that resulted in one of their favorite celebrity reactions. And as it turns out, that stunt saw Stone and Parker respectively dressed in famous dresses worn by Gwyneth Paltrow and Jennifer Lopez, and it caused JLo herself to react with a pretty pronounced snub on that night's red carpet. In an interview shared via the Good Sons YouTube channel, South Park co-creator and co-star Trey Parker shared what he felt was the best celebrity reaction to one of their collective shenanigans. So he's like, okay, why is JLo so upset? Well, he shared this. He's like, "My favorite is actually, and I think it's because I wore her dress to the Oscars. But we saw Jennifer Lopez at a party, and all she did was walk past me and push me. I think that's pretty cool." And here I thought the most heated reaction to South Park was that lawsuit between Paramount and Warner for the streaming rights. At the 2023 VMAs, Tiffany Haddish continually photobombed Shakira, who totally ignored her. In a viral video, Tiffany shouted Shakira's name from across the room, and then kept calling for her as she got closer. And Shakira didn't even turn around to see who was yelling for her. In response to criticism of her behavior, Tiffany tweeted, "This is so interesting to me. If you feel like I did too much, all of y'all better be buying Shakira's new album. This experience has allowed me to realize how truly popular I am. I appreciate all of your opinions." At the National Night of Laughter and Song in 2017, Jerry Seinfeld was approached by Kesha, who asked him for a hug, and he repeatedly said no. Jerry later explained to Extra, "I don't hug a total stranger." Now, Kesha talked about the incident with SiriusXM, and she was like, "I felt like I was 5 years old. Oh, I instantly was like, oh, F me." And I somehow ended up in my very own episode, or mini episode of Seinfeld for 5 seconds. Well, I guess Cardi B had Kesha's back, because she had this whole interview with Jerry Seinfeld and Zach Galifianakis. And as she was leaving, she hugged Zach goodbye, but not Jerry. I guess to get a little revenge for Kesha. Kinda cute. Simu Liu is letting it known that the Kenergy between him and his Barbie co-star Ryan Gosling has never been stronger. So he took to Instagram after a resurfaced video of him and Gosling at a Barbie press event in Toronto went viral, prompting fans to question whether the two had butted heads. So in the clip, Simu Liu can be seen placing his arm behind Ryan Gosling's back while posing for cameras, before Ryan Gosling seemingly asks him not to. So obviously this interaction raised some eyebrows following Barbie's theatrical release, but Leo insisted all was well between the two Kens. He's like, "I'd beat you off with the Canadian again in a heartbeat." He said this on his Instagram story. So cool, fun. Leo went on to call Gosling the best human in every way, especially when he jokes around with us on the carpet and on set, infecting all of us with his Kenergy. So fans were quick to weigh in on the awkward moment online before the air was cleared, with one fan writing via Twitter, "Oh, I'd literally never show my face again." Another user wrote, "This is so humiliating it made my stomach hurt." Others, however, pointed out that the star's behavior reflected the relationship between their two versions of Ken in the Barbie movie, as their respective characters are kind of rivals throughout the entirety of the film. And hey, if you know anything about Ryan Gosling, he sells whatever character he's playing until that, leaves the theater. So maybe he was just reminding Simu Liu to stay in character. It added to the appeal of the storyline in the press, so kind of brilliant if it was planned. Kylie Jenner seemed to brutally snub Selena Gomez at the 81st Annual Golden Globe Awards. So at the prestigious award show, it seemed that Selena was feeling frustrated as she angrily vented to her besties Taylor Swift and Keely Sperry about the hurtful interaction she had with the famous Kardashian. Expert lip reader Jeremy Freeman broke down the chat for the news, revealing that it seemed Kylie refused to let Selena take a picture with her boyfriend, actor Timothée Chalamet, during the red carpet event. It appeared that Selena said to Taylor, "I asked for a picture with him and she said no," to which Kaylee then mouthed, "With Timothy?" To which Selena nodded. So after all this tenseness, fans took to social media sharing their thoughts on the drama. One fan wrote, "It might be true, I do the same to my man, LMAO." Another wrote, "The heavy nod Selena did after, I just know she was ready for the mess she was about to start." And a third added, "Taylor's friend is messy as hell for yelling Timothy's name so loud like that." Anyway, the discourse around this is already weird. Why am I seeing people saying she's too old for this? If a former friend declined a photo with you, literally any woman's first move would be to tell her best friends about it. It's really not that deep. After last year's Critics' Choice Awards, one celebrity moment was causing a stir online after an eagle-eyed viewer honed in on a seriously awkward interaction between Dua Lipa and Billie Eilish. So both stars were nominated in the Best Original Song category for their respective work on Barbie, so they were seated at the same table for the swanky show. Well, during a brief moment of downtime, both Dua and Billie were standing up and mingling with other guests when Dua spotted a camera and seemingly attempted to pose with Billie. In the clip, the star flicks her long hair over her shoulder and, while maintaining eye contact with the camera, turns around with the apparent intention of being back-to-back with Billie. Now, unfortunately, Billie had looked away, like right before Dua started posing, and looks like she didn't want to pose. So instead, she moves her back away from Dua, which prompts Dua Lipa to hastily straighten up and kind of awkwardly laugh. And in a bid to try and brush off the cringe-worthy moment, she then casually picks up something to eat from the table, while Billie sits down, still unaware of what she's kind of done.
First up, we have Emma Roberts. The actress is certified Hollywood royalty, being the niece of Julia Roberts, but that didn't save her from getting cancelled last September when her co-star Angelica Ross spoke out against her. The two of them starred in American Horror Story together, and according to Angelica, it was nothing short of a nightmare. Apparently, Emma irritated almost every actor on the set because she was playing mind games with people. Angelica said, "My blood is boiling because I'm like, if I say something, it's going to be me that's the problem. I know this because there was someone who spoke up about what she was doing and they got repercussions from it. Not her, they did. So she chose not to report it because she felt she would be retaliated against." After that incident, apparently the two of them didn't speak for the rest of their time filming together. She also claimed that Emma yelled at directors and tried to compare salaries with her co-stars, all because she was trying to make it very clear that she was number one on the call sheet and she was the one in charge. So it sounds like she was terrorizing people in general, upsetting other actors, and throwing her weight around in an insufferable way. Once this story came out, there was intense backlash against the actress and problematic past behavior, so it's safe to say she won't be on the red carpet for a little while. Next up, we have Star Trek actor Zachary Quinto, who was exposed for his horrible behavior online. A Toronto restaurant called Manita recently accused him of berating staff, driving the host to tears, and freaking out other customers during brunch. They posted a statement on their Instagram story saying, "Zachary Quinto, an amazing Spock, but a terrible customer. Yelled at staff like an entitled child after he didn't reply to 2 texts to inform him his table was ready, and refused to believe the empty tables in the dining room weren't available for him despite being politely informed that they were spoken for." The message went on to say, "Made our host cry and the rest of our brunch diners uncomfortable. Mr. Quinto, take your bad vibes somewhere else. We have many lovely celebrities join us at Manita, but you are not one of them." Zachary is most known for playing Commander Spock in the Star Trek movies between 2009 and 2016, and has gone on to have a very successful career ever since. He was also a fan favorite in American Horror Story. The potential PR dent comes at a sensitive time for the actor, considering that he has a new medical drama coming out called Brilliant Minds, which is set to premiere in the fall. So it's no surprise that fans are upset about this news. After all, you have to be a pretty entitled celebrity to get yourself banned from a restaurant. That brings us to James Corden. The famous talk show host is now one of the most hated celebrities in Hollywood, and a lot of it comes down to what people say is his fake personality. On screen, he seems to be a funny and lovable guy, but in real life, it appears to be a different story entirely. Some of the allegations against James include him reportedly screaming at staff at the Balthazar restaurant in New York because his wife received an egg yolk omelet with egg white in it. He was banned from the restaurant, and the owner claims he is the most abusive customer ever. In 2010, a moment of genuine drama unfolded at the Glamour Awards ceremony as Corden clashed with X-Men star Patrick Stewart on stage. As he walked up on stage, Stewart told Corden to get his hands out of his pockets and accused him of looking around as if he would rather be anywhere in the world but here. In response, Corden said, "Oh, you couldn't be more wrong, sir. You couldn't be more wrong, genuinely. And if it looked like that, I am so sorry. But when you come up and present an award, just get on with it." Stewart kept the argument going though, and things got incredibly awkward for everyone watching. Truly a bizarre moment in award show history. Moving on to Chrissy Teigen, the cookbook author faced heavy criticism in recent years following reports of cyberbullying. Many celebrities came forward to accuse Teigen, including Lindsay Lohan, Farrah Abraham, and Project Runway star Michael Costello. Teigen publicly apologized for her past behavior multiple times, including in a lengthy post on Medium, which she shared on social media. She also opened up about being in the cancel club following the controversy. Teigen wrote on Instagram in July saying, "Going outside sucks and doesn't feel right. Being at home alone with my mind makes my depressed head race." She ended her post jokingly asking if there is a cancel club reunion she could attend. From there, she was dealt a huge blow after reports circulated that retail giant Bloomingdale's had pulled out of a deal it had in place with the model. Macy's also said that it's not actively selling her cookbook Cravings on their site, and it's difficult to see how her career will recover from such bad publicity. Next up, we have Jonah Hill. Earlier this year, the actor and comedian was exposed online by his ex-girlfriend who claimed that he was controlling and misogynistic. These events have collectively sparked outrage, mostly from other women who said they've had similar experiences in relationships. It started on July 7th, when Sarah Brady shared a series of Instagram stories detailing Jonah's behavior while they were together. She posted DMs and texts that she claims were sent to her when they were dating. She wrote, "Sharing this publicly now because keeping it to myself would causing more damage to my mental health than sharing it ever could do. This is a warning to all girls. If your partner is talking to you like this, make an exit plan. Call me if you need an ear." So what was in these messages? Well, one of them appears to show him chastising her for posting photos of herself surfing in a bikini. When she deletes some of the photos, Jonah allegedly tells her that it's a good start, but that she still doesn't seem to get it. He explains what kind of behavior he feels is crossing his boundaries. This includes her surfing with other men, modeling, posting pictures of herself in a bathing suit, and having friendships with women who are in unstable places. Another celebrity who isn't allowed on the red carpet anymore is Russell Brand. In September of last year, several women made allegations against him, and more disturbing stories have come out about him since. The actor then had his YouTube account suspended, as well as other channels associated with his main YouTube page. He denied everything and issued a video message on social media saying that the stories about him were from a time when he was still acting in the movies. But that was not enough to stop Russell from getting cancelled. His management agency, Travis Wood, terminated all professional ties to him, saying in a statement, "Russell Brand categorically and vehemently denied the allegation made in 2020, but we now believe we were horribly misled by him." Paramount Plus then removed one of his stand-up comedy specials, and the BBC said it removed some content featuring the actor, saying that it now falls below public expectations. After all that, it's pretty clear Russell will not be welcomed back to Hollywood or any celebrity events that he used to attend. Next up, we have Doja Cat. While her music is still as good as ever, Doja Cat is constantly finding herself in hot water these days. After losing nearly 1 million followers for hating on her own fans, she seems to have alienated her remaining fan base by wearing a shirt featuring an extremely controversial person. The picture has now been deleted from Instagram, but not before it was seen by millions. In the photo, Doja is posing in her car while wearing a t-shirt that shows a controversial comedian. After fans called her out on Instagram, she removed the images but left a blurry photo of herself in the same outfit on her Instagram story. She then uploaded a cropped version of one of the pictures, but fans made sure she knew that they hadn't forgotten about the controversy. Not too long ago, she called out some of her stans for creating their own unofficial nickname for her loyal fan base because she didn't sign off on it and she clearly hates the name. She went on a bit of a Twitter rant and wrote, "My fans don't get to name themselves. If you call yourself a kitten or effing kittens, that means you need to get off your phone and get get a job and help your parents with the house. Doja ended up losing more than 500,000 followers, and to this day she has not changed her opinion. Moving on to Justin Timberlake, whose reputation took a nosedive after his ex Britney Spears released her memoir, The Woman in Me. In the book, she reveals that she fell pregnant during the relationship, but claims that she was forced to end it. She said, "It was a surprise, but for me, it wasn't a tragedy. I loved Justin so much. I always expected us to have a family together one day. This would just be much earlier than I'd anticipated." But she said that Justin definitely wasn't happy about the pregnancy. He said that they weren't ready to have a baby in their lives and that they were way too young. Britney revealed that if the decision had been left up to her alone, she never would have done it. But she only did so because Justin was so sure that he didn't want to be a father. Looking back at the experience, she said, "To this day, it's one of the most agonizing things I have ever experienced in my life. So it's no surprise the internet has been looking back at Justin's past actions with distaste, from how he publicly discussed his relationship with Britney to the media and insulted her after it was over and using her to launch his career. It's no wonder fans have totally turned their back on him."
Starting off, we have Kelly Rowland and an assistant. Insiders have revealed the reason why Kelly Rowland scolded an assistant on the red carpet at the Cannes Film Festival this past week. Now, Kelly was attending the premiere of the French film Marcelo Mio. As Kelly made her way up the famous steps, she appeared to engage in a verbal dispute with a member of security after she held up her arm to guide her into the venue. It has been revealed that the fight happened because staff members at the festival were being aggressive, and Kelly had it with them. The people who are assigned to helping stars walk the red carpet were being aggressive, and Kelly was trying to ignore it, the source said. By the time she got to the last woman, she had it because she scolded Kelly and told her to move when she was trying to wave to fans and help the paparazzi get their shot, they added. Now, the source also revealed she doesn't care if she comes across like a diva if she knows that she's advocating for herself. She isn't fake and wanted to set a clear boundary. Footage from the altercation shows a furious Kelly visibly scolding the staff member as she held up her finger to scold the woman in front of the crowd in attendance. Now, the security guard appeared to frantically respond to Kelly, who even turned back to continue her tirade as she made her way up the rest of the steps. Next up is Cardi B and Nicki Minaj. Now, the Queens of Rap had an altercation during New York Fashion Week in 2018. Sources stated that Cardi B reportedly became upset with Nicki after she heard she was criticizing her skills as a mother. A video was posted of Cardi B shouting and lunging towards someone believed to be Nicki. Shoes were thrown. No photos of the incident showed Cardi B being escorted out of the party barefoot with a sizable bump on her forehead, presumably caused by Nicki's security detail, who intervened after Cardi threw a shoe at Nicki. Now, after the incident, Cardi took to Instagram and wrote that she lets a lot of slide and that the fight was a result of Nicki's questioning of her capabilities as a mother. Now, speaking on her radio show later, Nicki said, "Get this woman some effing help." And after that, Cardi took to Instagram again to debunk Nicki's side of the story. Apparently, they have squashed any issues they've had with each other at the moment, but who knows if this feud will reignite again. Then there's Machine Gun Kelly and Conor McGregor. At the 2021 VMAs, UFC fighter Conor McGregor and Machine Gun Kelly almost got involved in a fight on the red carpet. According to Page 6, the pair had to be separated as they walked the red carpet at the annual event, with McGregor seemingly throwing a punch in Machine Gun Kelly's direction. A source also alleged to Page 6 that McGregor threw a drink over MGK, and photos suggested that there was no love lost between the pair. In fact, one eagle-eyed witness shared video footage of the fight on Twitter, and it certainly looked like the professional fighter was ready to engage in a full-on punching match with the musician. Now, despite there being a slew of photographic and video evidence of the almost beatdown, McGregor's representative released a statement to Page 6 saying, "Conor only fights fighters." Now, according to Radar Online sources, there was a lot of screaming between the pair on the red carpet, with security guards trying to intervene and stop the altercation from escalating. Now, it remains unclear why McGregor and Machine Gun Kelly were fighting, but it was a crazy interaction overall. Moving on to Dakota Johnson and Melanie Griffith. Now, for those of you who don't know, yes, Dakota Johnson is a nepotism baby. Now, at the time of this red carpet interview with her mother, Melanie Griffith, her movie 50 Shades of Grey had recently come out. Now, being rated R due to themes and nude scenes, an interviewer asked Melanie if she had had seen the film. Now, Melanie will do anything to support her daughter, except watching a sexually explicit film starring her, and honestly, I don't blame her. The two got into a very uncomfortable conversation after being asked whether Melanie had seen the movie. Melanie simply responded no, then added, "I don't think I can, I think it would be strange." "Alright, you don't have to see it," argued Dakota. "If she tells me to see it, I'll see it," her mother said, and Dakota followed this up with, "I tell you to see it and you're like, eh." Definitely an awkward moment between a mother and daughter in general, but in regards to them talking about 50 Shades of Grey, I feel like it's even awkwarder. I just want to know who greenlit that question for the interviewer because it's an incredibly awkward and strange question to ask. Now there's Aubrey Plaza and Michael Cera. Things got awkward on the red carpet between Aubrey Plaza and Michael Cera. Aubrey was doing an interview with Sun TV about her film Scott Pilgrim vs. the World when Michael jokingly grabbed the microphone. Aubrey snapped at him saying, "Seriously, don't do that." She then started yelling at him, and this leads to an abrupt end to the interview. However, it seems as though that Aubrey might have just been playing things up, and that seems to be the general sense to fans as well. Now the pair get along so well, and also fun fact, they actually almost got married. Now perhaps Aubrey was trying to find a way out of the interview, and she found it thanks to Michael. On the other hand, some fans think the entire ordeal was fake and was just a fun prank for the two of them. Now with their sense of humor, it definitely seems like a prank to me, but it's just a really cringy moment. Now let's talk about Miley Cyrus and Liam Hemsworth. In August 2019, it was announced that Miley Cyrus and Liam Hemsworth had split up after tying the knot in December 2018. Now since then, the general public has been reflecting on the couple's relationship and dug up some footage of them acting strange on the red carpet. In a video of the pair at the premiere of Avengers Endgame in 2019, Miley can be seen pretending to lick her husband, which Liam doesn't look overly happy about. Now it's even been suggested that he may have been saying, "Could you behave for once?" Now as the Avengers Endgame premiere took place just several months before the couple confirmed their split, it is extremely possible that there was some tension between the pair. MTV News reported on an additional video clip from the event, which allegedly showed Liam expressing his disdain as Miley started twerking on the red carpet. Now basically, this particular joint appearance likely wasn't as picture perfect as it initially seemed. Moving on to Hugh Grant and Ashley Graham. While walking the red carpet at the 2023 Oscars, Hugh Grant was quickly called out online after an interview with Ashley Graham on ABC's Academy Awards pre-show. When asked by the model what his favorite part of the awards ceremony was, he responded, "It's fascinating, the whole world of humanity is here, it's Vanity Fair." Things only got more awkward as Hugh began unenthusiastically responding with short answers, such as saying he wasn't rooting for any nominees in particular, and stating that he couldn't remember the name of the tailor who worked on his suit. Now the interview concluded with Ashley asking him about appearing in one of the night's nominated films, Glass Onion and Knives Out Mystery, in which he made a cameo as the partner of Daniel Craig's detective character. "Well, I'm barely in it," he stated. "I'm in it for about 3 seconds." Now on top of that, when asked if he had fun shooting the Knives Out sequel, he simply responded with, "Almost." Twitter then went crazy calling out his behavior, and it was just a plain awkward exchange, but all I gotta say is poor Ashley. Up next is David Arquette and RJ City. In 2018, David Arquette got into a physical altercation after a man ambushed him on a red carpet. Now the man who ambushed David was pro wrestler RJ City, who David was supposed to wrestle that weekend. Now the incident went down when David was on the red carpet at the 350 Days premiere in Los Angeles. Video of the July 12th incident posted to TMZ showed David chatting with photographers and reporters when RJ approaches him, pestering him by getting in his personal space. Now David eventually pushes RJ, who responds by slapping David in the face. "See you Sunday, goodbye," RJ says as he is escorted off the red carpet. Now the bad blood between the two began on Twitter when the duo started throwing jabs at each other. Now after the red carpet scuffle, David told reporters, "I have a match with RJ City on Sunday, and apparently he bum rushed me on the red carpet. It's already been personal." And finally we have Krishan Rock and her stylist. In January 2023, Krishan Rock shocked everyone at the premiere of Baddies West when she was caught on camera throwing a punch. According to What's on Rap, who posted a video clip of the altercation on Twitter, the fight happened just 3 days after she announced her pregnancy, and a security guard managed to stop the fight before it got any worse. Now although the video doesn't show the person Rock punched, it's been suggested suggested that it may have been the rapper's former stylist. Now, Krishan's red carpet punch isn't the first time she's been seen getting physical in public. That same month, TMZ shared video footage of her allegedly starting a fight with two women during a visit to rapper Blueface's house. According to the outlet, Krishan attempted to crash a party that was occurring in the hopes of taking her on and off partner Blueface away. TMZ reported that Rock left the party solo after the very public fight, but it's clear that she's not afraid to throw a punch on or off the red carpet.